Welcome back. Good morning, Britain. 8:44 now. Our next guest, conservationist Chris Packham, has previously said he selectively supports the group Just Stop Oil.
Well, Chris is joining the likes of Dame Judi Dench and Dame Emma Thompson for his own protest, taking part in a march which aims to be the largest climate event in the UK. And he joins us now to talk about that. But before we do, Chris, was the Just Stop Oil protest at Stonehenge one of their protests and campaign missions that you didn't select, or do you think it was fine?
Well, Kate, let's start off by saying, well, three things. Firstly, we are often in the media preoccupied by the method, and I think we've got to throw some attention onto the message. And the message from Just Stop Oil is that we want to keep fossil fuels in the ground. We want to just transition away from that source of energy and towards renewables. That message is not being heard through peaceful protests, so radical groups like Just Stop Oil will do more extreme things to get into the media. And our duty is to make sure that not just the method, but the message gets across. Secondly, to the Stones, a fantastic monument, one of my favourite places in the UK. I understand that the Stones have been adequately cleaned. Indeed, I watched loads of people there this morning joyously experiencing the solstice sunrise. And thirdly, it's thrown a lot of attention on rare species of lichen, fascinating organisms. And so for the first time, we've seen people concerned about them. And I hope a lot of people are enjoying an opportunity to think about their biology. I'd also like to point out this week that Just Stop Oil have targeted Stansted Airport, where private jets are still in use. And I've been targeting, peacefully, with no paint, Taylor Swift while she's been on tour in the UK, a very prominent user of private jets. And that is one thing that I think is extremely worthy to do. We've got to cut back on our emissions, and that means we all need to make changes. Me, you, and Taylor Swift.
How have you been targeting Taylor Swift? What are you doing specifically on that, Chris?
Well, I've asked her to think about the future of all of her young fans. Enormous capacity to communicate, a very powerful, intelligent young woman. She should be using that platform to lead, and certainly not behaving as a rock star of yesteryear, travelling around the world in private jets. And I think that she's got to show that legion of adoring young fans that she cares about their future. Maybe one day, I don't know, Taylor may want children of her own. I'm sure that she wants a healthy, happy planet for them to live on. And in order to do that, we've got to change the way we use our fossil fuels. And she could send a very symbolic gesture to millions of people by saying that she was going to stop using those jets.
So has she responded to you?
She hasn't, Kate, at this point, but I have offered her the opportunity to send a video message, which we could play at our rally on Saturday, to perhaps 50, 60, 70, 100,000 people who would instantly become Taylor Swift fans, even though they may be over 15.
Tell us about this. So it's Restore Nature Now March. You're involved, lots of big names, Dame Judi Dench, Dame Emma Thompson, a lot of support
maybe
for it.
Now Taylor.
Maybe Taylor Swift. Tell us about it.
Well, we've called together all of those people in the UK who love life, whether they're concerned about climate breakdown, whether they're concerned about biodiversity loss, the loss of our wildlife, or animal welfare. We've all got a commonality in the fact that we want a healthier future for our planet. And we've called them together for a peaceful rally, no cornstarch, no paint, no glue, but a lot of joy. Fancy dress, it's a family-friendly affair. And we want to show simply by our weight of numbers and our collective concern for the future of life, not just in the UK, but on our planet, that we will be holding our future government to account. We want significant investment from them, a significant commitment right across the board, everything from fossil fuels to looking after hedgehogs, frankly. And we're all going to be there raising our voices and indicating that we're going to make a last stand for nature. And we will be banging on that door asking for reform. Because we do have the capacity to restore nature now. We've got a toolkit to do it, but we haven't been rolling it out broadly enough.
It's very interesting to hear that, and I'm sure many people join that campaign. It does look a little, you won't necessarily know this, but when we were playing the pictures of the Just Stop Oil attack on Stonehenge, it does look as if your shirt is the victim of a Just Stop Oil demonstration. It is literally exactly the same colour, but you can reassure me that you haven't been.
No, I haven't been targeted by Just Stop Oil. As you pointed out at the outset, I will selectively support some of the things they do, but their message is absolutely emphatically clear, and it's a message that's shared by all of us. We've seen the flooding in Europe. We've seen the wildfires in New Mexico in the last few days. We've got to keep those fossil fuels in the ground, Kate.
Chris, thank you so much.
So
a lot of people,
you make a powerful point.
A lot of people will be supporting you this morning. Chris Packham, as ever, thanks for joining us this morning. Competition time and your chance to win £250,000. Here's Andy with all the details.